So, hello and welcome back to the channel. I like to put these videos out um, definitely at the beginning of the years. That way we can sort of, see, engage, and pretty much everyone's collective thoughts of how this year's power creeps, units, and all this stuff is necessarily really going to go. Over here, I have it on Rosen's Mosswood fight right now, but I have all of the events down through here, and I already have a collection of some already up here that I want to, talk about, break down because of, basically how this year's really going to go. So this is going to be you guys giving your info, your thoughts and stuff like that in the comment section below. And at the beginning of this, I want to ask a, question for you guys. Have you beat Festival of Battle? Have you beat Festival of Battles? Have you beat every content, every version of hard content necessarily in the game? Like actually, like have you cleared it? Not maybe all the missions or anything along the lines of that, but at least have you cleared it out? I genuinely want to know because this is definitely going to give us, some insight on how a lot of people necessarily moving because there's a lot of people that only summon in the big celebrations, skip everything else, and maybe their accounts lacking a little bit or they need to step up banners to sort of help them get all of that back and, things along that nature. And then there's also just a bunch of people that summon on everything like me and stuff like that. So in these videos, I'm even more honest than I normally am before. And sometimes I'm probably going to be very brutally honest with a lot of things that happen in this game and necessarily my viewpoints on looking at this because as someone that's been in the game of Dokkan for a very, 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 very long time, I can sort of see how the community necessarily gauges and on certain topics and units, power creeps, you know, just events that come out. I see all of it from you guys, no pun intended, but I see all of it from you guys over the years and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to be looking at this and seeing how everything's necessarily going to be going. So if you enjoy this type of content and stuff like that, I greatly appreciate you hitting that like button, sub it up, turn on notifications, sharing. All those stuff is free to do. It doesn't cost you anything whatsoever at all, and it does support the channel greatly, and I do mean greatly. But if you want to take it a step further, I would greatly appreciate that by hitting that join button down below, becoming a member for 99¢. It's always going to stay 99¢. I'm never going to literally change any of those, all of those packages and stuff like that. I've never changed any of those whatsoever at all. And if you've already a member, you can pretty much go ahead and comment down below like, "Oh, I've been a member on this tier and it ain't changed since it's been there." So other than that, let's go ahead and get into this one because I'm going to try not to make this a super lengthy video because I've already got one of those out today and also yesterday. But let's go over things because like one of the biggest things right now is power creeps and how people are necessarily really going to like figure things out. Like the next big event that's going to be coming out is Cell Max. This is, in my opinion, should be the last event of like of a 2025, if you understand what I'm saying. Like the 11th year anniversary is like when that new like era starts. This is the last of that. Even though we're in a new year, this is the last of that content. And we see how they necessarily like really move with Cell Maxes. They usually always give him an AoE or a super attack that literally it targets all. So you can see down even through here, like, and basically what a super attack does. Now, the thing about that is that these right now are, and from what I've seen and from everything else and stuff, those are like baby numbers. Looking at this at now, especially with the easy A's we have and stuff like that, these are like baby numbers. Like you're looking at this Cell Max, like he ain't nothing. He a bitch compared to everything else that we've been getting, especially from the new ones. But if you look at this guy right now and you sort of can go with a template of like what is to come when we get this next event, then you probably start looking at this like, oh, 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 because this is what they do with Cell Maxes, man. Every time a Cell Max event pops up, he's a nightmare. For that current meta, he's a nightmare. Unless he's like really, really close to another meta, which by the way, we are. And like I said, I do have a lot of faith in the fact that with a new meta, like the 11th year anniversary units are gonna bitch him. Like I'm gonna be dead ass. They're gonna bitch him. And that's just how it is. The only real issue is that we got 4 LRs, at least potentially 4 LRs, at least three, definitely at least two LRs before we get to the actual start of the 11th year anniversary. So this does mean we have the two of Gohan and Piccolo, and then we have the countdown. We actually have the countdown LRs or LR that will get easy aid from that. And if we're roughly right, it should probably be, I would say, Bird Coup and Cooler. That's probably who will get easy aid out of this because again, they were missing out from the Global Dokkan campaign and stuff. Like I would assume that it's going to be them if we're right about at least Namek being somewhat of a representation of the 11th year anniversary. So this guy, his next stage should probably be very wild. And even then, even though I say the 11th year anniversaries will probably bitch him, it's just because the 11th year anniversary units will do it doesn't mean that everything after that will do that. Because let's be honest, we know the track record for Dokkan and how they necessarily move with a lot of units. They like to put some stinkers out there that are basically a what the fuck are these units? Like, why are they even here? Did you even play test these guys? Why are they here? Like, we have a couple of those that necessarily sort of come out. Like, another than one of the stages that you seen earlier that I had up is also Rose and Zamasu because hey, I have them up because a lot of people still use this event to go in and play test cards and stuff like that. You see them on showcases and everything else. Like people go into these harder events and play test these guys and see what they do against them and their situations because again, you still have AoEs. And one of the things that I have to say currently right now is that when I'm looking at all these guys and I'm looking at all these events and stuff like that, the thing that I'm seeing is like, well, they still haven't thrown the kitchen sink at them and stuff like that. Like you can still, do certain things. Like you can still dodge certain things. Like if it's a situation where it's AoE, you can't dodge. Like again, for like Cell Max, it's like easily make him a nightmare by having a stupid, ridiculous super attack. You can't dodge it. Like you can't counter it, or you have to rely on countering it. And then he also still has an AoE attack as well too with his normal attacks, and he's like massively raising attack and also raising the defense. And not to even mention if they do the stupid ass thing that they were doing last a year where they were basically going, oh, every turn you lose an X amount of damage, or let's put the bombs in and you lose a damage as well. Like, and it's more aggressive. Like, there's a lot that they can do to still make everything extremely nightmare. And I'm gonna say, like, with the Infinite Zamasu one, this one was a gimmicky fight that you had to use. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Zeno button on here. But look at the HP that they gave him. Like, look at the HP. You see that HP, and you're like, even though this is a gimmicky fight, like things are kind of wild when you start to think about that. Like, look down here, attack 600% with each turn it passes up from the second turn up to 3,000. You still got all of this going on down through here. Like, yeah, the super attack isn't that bad at the beginning, but it gets, like I said, with the Zeno button, if you don't use that Zeno button, the ones that didn't use the Zeno button and tried to see how crazy it got know that that goes up quite a bit. And again, greatly raising attack from that. And it's like, well, damn, like there's that. And then you come over here because, oh, this is where I did the Cell Max from. Uh, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. This is the new. This is the new, which we'll get into the Festival Battle. Like I said beforehand, have you beat Festival Battle like at least once? Have you cleared it at least once? Because if memory serves correct, we should be getting another one of these guys. Like we should be getting another one of these for the 11th year anniversary. And again, 2 billion, right? 2 billion HP, 24 million super attack. And again, I just popped up Bio Broly and Metal Cooler, and Bio Broly, after he's literally built all the way up, my guy is hitting the same basically amount as the Festival Battle stuff. Like he's hitting the same amount basically as Super Vegeta in that event. Let that sink in for a second. So with this, that's where we're at with just regular events. Just I won't say regular events. These are still hard events. Like Red Zone's still very hard events. So it's not like they're regular, but you know what I'm saying. This isn't like a festival battle where you got to sit down for hours on to beat this and still rely on your RNG and everything to go well and yada yada yada. Like that's like, oh, we get to hear quicker, way quicker, way quicker. It's insane. Then you come down here, and this was the Extreme Super Battle Road time limit. And the thing that made this kind of crazy is that look at these super attacks. 11 million, 11 million, 10 million super attacks. And Extreme Super Battle Road. In Extreme Super Battle Road. Like the frustrations that I won't say that I genuinely like have for it because I'm not gonna say that I have a bunch of frustrations on it or anything like that. I'll be like I said, honest, completely brutally honest at the beginning. I don't think a lot of people are gonna like this shit. And if you want me to be honest, in 2026, especially if I gotta cross my fingers when I say this because let's be fucking honest here. Rockstar's blue balling everybody right now. But if GTA 6 comes out, like, where the hell do you think a lot of people are going to be at? Like, where there's a lot of slew. There's like a slew of games in 2026 is gonna be that's gonna be coming out. It's gonna be pretty decent. So it's like there's gonna be a quite a bit of things out there to play, and you think that a mobile game is going to be able to, and especially let's not even factor in the fact that we have a bunch of other things that's going to be popping off. Like if we see another Dragon Ball Z game pop off and stuff like that, like I'm pretty sure Spark and Zero's got back to having a good little bit of a player base and stuff like that in it as well. If I'm not mistaken, like remember when it first came out? Remember how Dokkan tanked a little bit when it first came out? And I called it, but I was like, if it's bad, like or if it gets really horrible, like online stuff, and people will realize it and then they'll dip out for a little bit, like because it's too sweaty, then they'll come back and stuff. But at the beginning, woo, like was it doing work on Dokkan? Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of people were still here, but it was doing work. It was noticeable. And you come over here and you still guess what? Guess what? Lock and character switches is back and stuff. So you have, like I said, 1 billion here and stuff like that. Like the next stages and stuff. I would not be surprised if they're doing ridiculous amount of HP. You already see the stats that they have, the damage reduction. I'm just waiting to see a unit with 90% damage reduction, a 5 million defense. Actually, hold on for a second before I get into that because I want to make sure it ain't over here. Look, even his defense. Why is it yours? Bro, look at that. Even his defense isn't at 2 million. While you got this man's defense already at 2 million. Like 2 million. Like, is that not what Andy again, like I said, he's massively raising attack and defense. So, like I said, it's way after that, and he's super attacks twice. Like twice. It's way after that. Like like I said before, a lot of people aren't necessarily really gonna be rocking with this. And I can already see it, especially for the ones that get how it is every year where if somebody gets extremely shafted during the anniversary, they kind of like quit the game for a while, or just never come back. Like there's, I could probably see a lot of that necessarily still happening, especially if the power creep is as wide as the gap that we're thinking is going to be. Like, I mean, it's still going to be somewhat hard to say because, like I said, Bio Broly is a nightmare. Look at that super attack, bro. Is a nightmare. Like that's like you only get there after like what? How many down through here when people start hitting for that much? Look, the super attack for Good Boo is only 5.6, and that's later in Festival of Battle. Then you got obviously a big jump with 11, but again, Bio Broly after a couple of turns is after a couple of attacks is already there. Like he's already past that. Like he's already past that. And then after that, it's just these guys, like I said, already passed those, and he's in this realm. He's literally in this realm. Like if he supered like twice or God forbid 3 times, somebody shuddered. Somebody right there just from me saying that. Like and like I said, it's the 7th anniversary starts around the 28th, 29th. I mean, it's not. It was what like 3 weeks, like roughly like 3 weeks until my guy, my guy. Like we still got what Gohan and Piccolo's Easy A. I think around the 16th or so. Oh, it wasn't in this one. I don't know why it was in that one. Um, did they show it in this one? Yeah. Oh no, excuse me, 14th in a week. In a week, and again, good heavens to Betsy, heavens. We know Cell Max is going to be approaching us. Like we know that they ain't put him there on artificial life forms edition for nothing. Like they ain't done it for nothing. We know that he's a coming. Right, pause. Right around the corner. And like I said, if we're going by just this one alone, yeah, yeah, I think we can all agree, all agree that it's about to be rough for everything going forward. And boy, do I feel for the people that have less than stellar accounts. Let's just put it that way. Like if you are in that percentage that skip everything and still in the percentage where you skipped everything and it still didn't work out in your favor, boy oh boy. Like I know there's probably a decent amount of Dragon songs probably saved up for a lot of people in the community right now and still getting more Dragon songs and stuff. But yeah, man, that's not something that's looking like this is going to be absolutely crazy. Don't get me wrong, the units are going to be wild. The units are going to be what's everyone's going to be going for. But again, the content wise, like you still got to think because we don't necessarily know. And I'm going to end off at this because I said this before, but I'm putting it at the end of this video as well. We don't necessarily know if we're still going to get 6 LRs or if it's going to be go back to 4 LRs. If it's 6 LRs, 2 of these LRs are going to be short-term content kings. Other 2 LRs, and this is if it's balanced, other 2 LRs are going to be long form content kings. And then the other 2 LRs are probably going to be the new event kings, where everything's individual stuff and with stats and stuff like that. Like they'll probably be kings for that. That's what I'm going to go ahead and say. If it's balanced and we get 6, if it's 4, then you could just put it as maybe 2 of them are for short term, one's for long term, which I don't know how that would necessarily work all that well, but I mean, I guess you could necessarily get by with it. It just depends on how insane the power creep for um the next festival of battles goes because like I said, we do get that other stage for festival of battles and this looks like a bitch compared to what the new units can do. What else? What else am I supposed to say to that? I mean, uh, Super Broly could already have, and that's 55%. And I seen it with my own eyes when I beat it. He had using his active, he had a 40 million defensive stat, a 40 million defensive stat line. That's almost double. That's almost double this. So, I mean, I'd expect nothing but utter upscaling happening. That's what I would expect. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Other than that, have an awesome day/night. Stay safe, and I'm